everyone, I am back again and I have actually decided to do an overview video of all the steps that you need to do in order to get to where I am at the minute. I've got my visa and I'm waiting for the dorms email, which I'll get onto later. It is currently, hold on, I will have a look. "17 days, 13 hours and 9 minutes until I go to Disney." Can you see that? So we're almost to the 2-week period, so it's not long to go now. Okay, so I have a little list here. It is written on an old envelope. I couldn't find any spare paper. Anyway, so the first thing you have to do if you want to take part in the if you're in the UK, you want to take part in any of the Disney programs, the academic exchange, the cultural exchange program that I'm doing, or the cultural representative program, you have to apply through Yummy Jobs. Applications are open at different times throughout the year, but for the cultural exchange program that I'm doing, I think last year applications opened in August and closed sometime in September. I think it might have been September. End of September, beginning of October, around then, that's when the applications closed. So this year, in order to apply, apparently it had changed from last year. Last year you had to upload your CV and your cover letter. This year you didn't have to do that right away. If you didn't want to, you could take it to your interviews. I chose to upload mine because I already had it done. But you had to fill in all your personal information, your work history, in your school history, so it was like a CV on the website rather than uploading a CV as a Word document. You were also given the opportunity to say why you wanted to work for Disney, and also the last section was additional information, so I used that to boost my chances even more. Once you've applied, once the applications have closed, because you have to wait till applications have closed before you hear anything. I think it was the day after applications closed that I actually heard. I had forgotten I applied. I don't know how you forget you apply, but I was just minding my own business, eating my tea, and my email popped up on my phone and there it was. I had got through to the group interview stage. I was shocked. I honestly didn't think I was going to get through to that point, so I was happy. Because originally I almost talked myself out of applying. I didn't think that I would even get in, so I didn't see the point, but I'd had a pretty bad day at uni, so I decided to apply anyway, and here I am. So yeah, you get the email saying that you are successful to the group interview stage. I'm pretty sure a lot of people go to the group interview stage, but there's also a rather large cut. I don't remember how many people get cut at this stage. I'm sorry about that. The biggest cuts happen at the application stage and the group interview stage. That's where the biggest cuts happen. I know that in past years, originally it was a phone interview rather than a group interview. I think last year they had interviews in Edinburgh as well, but this year, for my year, so it might be different for yours, but for mine they were only in Manchester and London. I was in Nick's group. I was Team ER. And I actually thought that my group interview had gone awful, just because everybody else, when you take this Yummy passport with you and it has your available dates, and you circle the you have to attach a picture to it and you circle the roles that you're interested in, and it has a big box at the bottom for them to write notes down about you. And whenever I answered any of the questions that they asked, he would just nod his head, write something down. Occasionally he would smile. But with other people in my group, he would have a conversation with them about their answers. I took that to mean that I had done awful. I went home and cried over Skype to my mum, who said to me that maybe I was wrong about my perception of it, and maybe he thought that he had got exactly what he wanted out of my answers and he didn't need to push me for any more information. I still thought I had done awful and was convinced I had not gotten through. Yeah. The other thing I would say, in the presentation that they do before the group interview, they pointed out that the fewest positions available this year was for character attendant. Now, saying that, half of my group interview said that their top role was character attendant. I don't know why you would pigeonhole yourself like that into such an area where it's so little chance of getting the role. I said my top subject. I said my top role was quick service food and beverage because that's where my experience lies. I worked in a cafe at the time, and I think it's custodial and quick service food and beverage are the roles that they have the most positions for. So circle all the ones you want to do. Don't circle them all because you think it makes you look like you're flexible. It only makes you only suffer in the end. Okay, so after the group interviews, it took about, when the group interviews were over on the Saturday, I think we heard on the Monday. There were rumours that we would hear on the Sunday, but a lot of people have been told we would hear on the Monday. So on Monday night we got the email, and like I said, another big cut happened after the group interviews, and you were invited to a final interview in London. All final interviews are in London. You get to pick the date you can go. Obviously, if you can't get to London, then it'll look bad on you, because if you can't get to London, how can you get to Florida? So pick the one that is best for you. There are all sorts of forms and things that you need to fill in before your final interview and upload to the Disney Onboarding Central website. If you want more about that, I will link my blog below and you can read up on all those forms that you will need to fill in. At the final interview you have another presentation which is very similar to the one that you had at the group interview. It just makes you excited and makes you want to go. Then you have a 10-minute interview with a Disney recruiter. I think there were 3, there might have been 4, but I think there was 3. I had Sue. Now the first thing that Sue asked me was if I'd ever been to London before. And I said yes, but this was my first time that I'd been on my own. And I also made a point to mention that I had stayed the night in a hotel by myself in London. Now this might sound a silly thing to say to your recruiter, but if you think about it, you'll be heading out to Florida with other ICPs, but you will not be going with your family. You will effectively be independent and on your own. So if you can't be independent and get yourself to London in time for your interview on your own, how can you get yourself to Florida and to work in Florida by yourself? Just say anything that you think will help you. One of the things that they said to us in the presentation that really stuck with me was that you had 10 minutes to sell yourself. So don't leave that interview wishing you had said something else. I left my interview believing that I had said everything I possibly could. I had done everything I possibly could. And if I didn't get in the programme, then I just wasn't what they were looking for that year, and I would be okay with that because I was proud of my performance in the interview. However, I spoke to a girl on the train back to Victoria to get my bus home who said that she didn't feel like she had said everything she wanted to say, and lo and behold, she didn't get onto the programme. So that's just a word of advice. Okay, we had a really long wait after our final interview because the way ours fell, the recruiters would only get back to the States a couple of days before Thanksgiving. Obviously Thanksgiving is a big holiday for Americans, so we wouldn't be hearing until December what our results were. On the 3rd of December we got our congratulations emails. You have received that email. You will shortly get another email where it will ask you to accept your offer. When you are accepting this offer, make sure that you save that document or you print it off. You will need this when you get to Florida. Save it somewhere that you won't lose it. So you have 30 days to accept the offer on Disney's website. It's on Disney Dashboard, I think. But you also have to accept it on Yummy Jobs website, and you only have 7 days to accept it on Yummy Jobs, so make sure you accept it there as well. After that, you have to pay a program assessment fee and a criminal background check assessment fee. So you need to start thinking about flights. I waited until I got paid again and my student loan came in to buy my flights. So I bought them towards the end of January. And I booked through NetFlights because at the time I was booking it was the cheapest place to book flights from. I got, on June 3rd, Manchester to Orlando direct with Virgin Atlantic. My return flight is on the 17th of August from Newark Airport in New York, with a connection in London with Virgin Atlantic as well. Altogether that cost £513. I was happy with that. I also noticed that on net flights specifically, after monitoring prices for a couple of weeks, that prices were always cheaper on a Monday. Without fail, they were always cheaper on the Monday. I mean, I booked my flights on a Monday, I paid £513. I looked on Thursday and it had gone up to £570. It's not a lot, but you are saving some money, so monitor it for a bit and find out when the flight's cheapest. Okay, so after that you have health insurance. Health insurance is mandatory, you have to have it, you cannot go to Disney without your health insurance. Okay, so once you've done your health insurance, you'll most likely have your, okay, I think it was end of March, I think it was about the 30th of March that we got all our visa documents that we would need. When you are applying for your visa, set aside about 3 hours. I know it sounds excessive, but it will take you 2 to 3 hours at least to fill in the visa application. You will get a step-by-step guide from Yummy Jobs. Follow that to the letter, read it before you apply. Applying for the visa is very, very confusing. Your visa appointment can be whenever you want, just pick the best time for you. Things you need to take to your visa appointment, you need your, I think it's a DS-160 form. It's your visa confirmation form, so you need that. You need the form that came with the Yummy Jobs pack. Off the top of my head, can't remember what that's called. And you need your visa confirmation of appointment. I don't remember if you need your service fee, if you need your service receipt, but take it anyway. So after your visa appointment, you just need to pick up your visa if you have opted to pick it up from a pickup point, or you just wait for it to get delivered. So that's it for your visa. And then after that, there is just dorms, and the dorms email, I think, comes through around 10 days before you leave for Disney. You can opt to room with some people that you have met, or you can opt to be placed anywhere. And once that's done, you just need to get on your flight and get yourself to Disney and have the time of your life. I have spent so much time reading blogs and watching videos when I should have been working on uni work that I'm so excited, and I just know that it's going to be hard work. You are going to be probably the most tired you have ever been in your entire life. But you have to make the most of it. You may be tired, you finished work at 3 AM, you got home at 4 because you might work in Magic Kingdom. Get up at 7:30 or 8 o'clock or whatever and get yourself down to that pool and just sleep by the pool. At least you are doing something and you are getting some sun rather than cooped up in your bedroom. Just make the most of your time. You will get homesick, you will have bad days, you'll have good days, but it will probably be one of the best summers of your life and you have to make the most of it. You can see I'm getting all emotional talking about it. I just can't wait to go now. Like I said, it's 17 days to go. I am just so overwhelmed with excitement that I can't wait. So that's going to be it for today. All my links are below. Don't forget to subscribe if you like the video and thumbs it up as well. See you next time. Have a magical day.